Beer wine hybrids. Could you consider this? You wake up in the morning, you make some nice eggs, hash browns, and toast.
Yeah.
And then give me a beer wine hybrid to start the day off right. You like that? Hey, I mean, it could work, right? I mean,
I guess it could work.
It's unique.
Yeah.
All right, so let's finish this up. Vodka wine, no thank you. You know, I'm not a big vodka fan. Are you? I mean, I like flavored vodka. But straight vodka, like Smirnoff, what is that? Bottom of the barrel
I didn't care for vodka.
Skull vodka.
Yeah.
You know, you can buy like 100 gallons for $1. Have you ever had that?
Yeah. I don't care for it.
And Wayne says he likes a little wine if he can get some cheese with it.
Yeah.
So, okay, now here's the newest one. Now, because it's National Wine Day, maybe we should celebrate progress. There is a wine that is coming that's going to be extremely expensive because the wine is made from grapes that have been grown in space.
Oh, boy.
Does that even sound cool to you? I mean, at one time, that would be like really cool, but does it sound cool to you?
It's different, but I would not say it was cool.
No?
No.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, happy National Drink Wine Day. Some people are smiling because it gives them an excuse.
Right.
We have some weird stuff going on. How about this Meat of the Future article? Now, you tell me, we the other day we talked about Bill Gates, and he's like, all the rich nations should go 100% synthetic meat. So, you know, he doesn't own any of KFC, but KFC comes out, and they've partnered with a company in Russia, Moscow.
Oh, boy.
KFC has partnered with a Russian bioprinting company to bring 3D printed chicken nuggets to the table. What? Does bioprinting, I mean, okay, let's talk about this for a second. Is there going to be bioprinting? Doesn't that pretty much mean that if you have the chemical structure or the genetic structure of something, you can bioprint it?
Wow.
Doesn't it?
Yeah. So that means I can make a second Dan?
You could. That's what I'm thinking. That's
cool.
where I was going.
I like that. I like that idea because he can go work when I don't feel like going to work. So
with this venture, this crazy idea, I mean, you can already make a steak of yourself. They make a kit that you can swab the inside of your mouth, and you can, in a Petri dish, within 3 months, grow a steak from your own body.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you can do that, now what about these weird sadistic freaks out in America that are going to be like, I think I'm a cannibal?
Yeah, that takes the whole new terminology of eat me to a whole new level.
Well, here's the crazy, weird crap that is just nuts to me. With everything that we see with Identify, if you want to identify as a cannibal and then start eating people meat, these bioprinting companies are going to allow you to do that. How effed up is that?
That is messed up.
That's how bad?
Morbid.
It is. It really bothers me. That's a no-go for me. However, KFC has coined this as the meat of the future.
Oh, boy.
The lab-created chicken meat is KFC's response to growing market interest of healthy lifestyles. And right there, that's the big switcheroo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Pretty soon we're going to see Soylent products at KFC.
You know, my great-grandfather did everything unhealthy. Everything he ate had bacon in it.
Same with mine.
Yeah, everything my great-grandmother made had bacon grease. You remember the days where they had the bacon grease sitting on the stove?
Yes.
Now, my great-grandfather, he was old school. They didn't even have a regular – I remember when I was a kid, they didn't have a regular like electric or gas stove. What they had was, you know, those old stoves where you had the little handle and you would pick it up and throw the wood down underneath? The water lines ran in the back. Yeah, that was my great-grandfather's thing. Now, here's the thing. He worked in a rock quarry, and electricity went off and actually electrified the blasting caps and blew him up. He had a hole in his stomach. He lost an eye. Okay, so with all that happening, eating bacon every day, everything that was made had bacon grease, and he chewed 2 tins of Copenhagen a day.
Wow. And everybody lived a long, prosperous life.
He was 89 years old.
Yeah.
Back in those days, they didn't have insurance. My great-grandfather sold his farm twice to pay for operations for my great-grandma and paid them off again.
Wow.
Because that's what Americans did back then.
That's right.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. There's a whole bunch of drones, and by drones, I'm talking about people. They read this article. This is from Fox 6, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And they're reading this, and they're like, oh, my goodness, the meat of the future, lab-created chicken meat. KFC's response to the growing interest of healthy lifestyles. Oh, I'm going to be a healthy lifestyle. I'm going to be a guru. I am going to go eat the chicken.
I just want to go get me a Soylent Shake.
Yeah, you know what? Except this isn't chicken. It says their rise in demand for meat alternatives and the increasing need to develop more environmentally friendly methods of food production. According to who? That's my question. Who,
Right.
What are they talking about?
They're talking about Gatesism.
Is that what it is? Gatesism?
Gatesism.
Gatesism. That's a new one. We should coin that.
Gatesism.
Gatesism.
Wilma Gatesism.
Welcome to the world. Right?
Right.
You ever heard that guy with the really deep voice that does all the voiceover work? In a world with Gatesism.
In a world.
Yeah, here's the thing. I am not going to stick any of this crap in me. Especially now. Now, here's the thing. An American company like Kentucky Fried Chicken. I don't think that Russia has a Kentucky, does it?
No.
No. So all this is a big power shift. Okay. American people have ranches and they have farms and they control the beef and they control the chickens and they control the pork. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And what they want to do is they want to eliminate that final power, that distribution. They want to take over.
They want to eliminate the
distribution.
farmer hand.
Well, the farmer, the rancher.
The rancher.
They want anybody that can control the literal life of Americans.
Right.
In a good way.
Right. But I don't think it's in a good way, trust me.
Well, the chicken company's Russian partner, 3D Bioprinting Solution, is developing additives into the bioprinting technology using chicken cells and plant material to create the taste and texture of chicken meat with almost no animals involved in the process. Wow.
Our technology is something else.
Why? Something else. That is not negative enough.
It's not, but it's...
You know what? Here's the thing, folks. Here's the thing. You should learn something from what we're watching in Texas right now.
Yeah.
I was watching a show last night. It was actually on Rocky Stucci's show. And they had a person on there that was an expert in like cyber warfare, in satellites, things like that. And she was talking about how North Korea developed like 10 years ago these satellites that they believe are EMPs. And that we have no way, checks and balances from the south, the Atlantic South, and the bay down there to check these. And literally they go from south to north and they rotate. These things go over us twice a day. Okay? Because there's two of them. Now listen to this. They say that they're EMP satellites. So what happens to all this technology? Let's just go along with this for a second. Let's be intellectuals. Do you want to be intellectuals this morning?
Intellectual.
Okay, what happens the minute that they get rid of all the livestock, the chickens, the pigs?
Yeah.
The government takes over all the farming, and they're doing it so well because everything's being run by computer, and an EMP goes off. Or let's say this. How about solar flare hits us, and we no longer have control over those computerized tractors? What happens then?
Then everything comes crashing down.
Do you think that would be a good thing?
No.
You don't?
Oh.
See, I think the best thing in the world would be to get our kids off video games.
Well, that's true.
To a point. There's a time and place for everything. I truly believe that. My kids always tell me how they say, hey, look at this guy made this much money. And, it gives you hand-finger dexterity and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Well, on the Mind Unleashed today, listen to this. Pigs. Pigs have the smarts to play video games and use joysticks according to a new study. What do you think of that?
Wow. We've gotten to the point now where pigs play video games.
Yawn.
Yeah,
yawn.
They think that literally.
They literally think that's cool, though. I mean, that's just...
Literally, our kids today, this generation, they don't really understand. I'm going to give you an example. Right. So we got a ton of snow here. More snow here now than in the 6 years that I've been here. We have more snow now. So I go out and I'm driving on the road, and I look, and I see all these houses, and their driveways aren't shoveled, and their sidewalks aren't shoveled. Okay, now when I was a kid, maybe it's because I had an imagination, and I'm sure back then other kids did too. But we would go around and we would shovel. A lot of times we would just start shoveling, and then we would knock on the door, and they'd say thanks, and whoever was at the door, they if they didn't have any money, they'd say thanks. But if they did, they'd throw you $5, $10, $15, $20.
Right.
But I'm driving around the city, and there's a whole bunch of kids sitting inside playing video games, and there's all of this money to be made. Is that just me being entrepreneurial, or is there something to that?
No, I think you're on to something, because that is what's going on today.
It is.
Sadly.
Yeah, well.
Kids can't be kids no more.
So every once in a while, I like to talk about good stories, right?
Yeah.
A Florida man... and I like this. He didn't really need the money, but he got a stimulus check anyways, right?
Yeah.
So what he did was he took his stimulus check and he started a home garden to feed his community.
Mm.
What do you think of that? I think that's kind of a cool idea.
Hey, yeah. If we had more people like that in society, this world would be a much better place.
Well, I saw another article today where another guy took his GameStop money. He was one of the investors in GameStop. So what he did, remember when I said time and place? He went and took all that money that he made at GameStop, and he went and got Nintendo Switches and had them delivered to the local children's hospital.
Oh, wow.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
Right.
It's so much in society today. We have this greed before need. And, I'm not going to hammer anybody for being rich, because capitalism works and you live your life the way you want to. But being a good human being has to play a part in our life somehow. And I'm not saying we need to bend to the whims of globalism or anything like that. But what I am saying is that's pretty damn cool.
It is.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or the guys that dress up in like Batman and Superman and stuff, and they go up to the children's hospitals. We're actually going to bring on a lady that had a foundation where they take in money and they go buy coloring books and crayons and stuff for terminally ill children.
Oh, nice.
People haven't even thought about that right now. And when I think about what's going on today, isn't the average American, because this is what I believe. I believe that the average American should be able to live without electricity. It's not going to be fun, but you should be able to survive. You should be able to clothe yourself. You should be able to feed yourself. Those things I think are important, and that's knowledge that's gone.
Survival.
Right. Now, this is what I do. What does scare me is with diesel being, the price is going up, gasoline's going up, natural gas you just can't get right now. What about these hospitals with elderly and children in them? What about them? Are there enough supplies to protect them right now? In the way that our rotten, retarded government is right now, have they even thought about that? Have they thought about, down in Dallas, I bet you there's a children's hospital or multiple children's hospitals. Here's the sad part. In this country, our politicians, I guarantee you, would work to make sure that Planned Parenthood had its lights stay on before they would a children's hospital.
That's sad but true.
It is. Yep. So, didn't you have something talking about being physically involved? Didn't you have a story today about a hockey game?
Yeah, this is out of Canada. Out of Alberta, Canada. World's longest hockey game ends after 252 hours in Canada. Okay, a group of 40 people in Alberta, Canada announced they have completed their attempt at the world's longest hockey game which lasted 252 hours, folks.